Hey, comedy's taking over downtown Muskegon for a great cause. Fresh Coast Alliance is gearing up for its third annual Sober Comedy Night. It's happening Thursday, March 5th at the historic Fronthal Theater. It's all about celebrating recovery and second chances. And here to tell us more, Communications Director Candy Gibson joins us on the mix. Hi, Candy. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Oh, thanks for being here.
Of course.
Appreciate it. For those who don't know what Fresh Coast Alliance does, pretty important work in the area. Talk about what you do.
So we welcome men and women coming home from prison and jail and those beginning their recovery journey. And we have a variety of services, including sober housing, life skills groups, therapy, and just community. Because there's this quote we love by Johan Hari, and he says, the opposite of addiction isn't sobriety, it's connection. And we believe wholeheartedly in connection.
And that is something, the goal here, the end goal, obviously, is to keep folks who are coming out of that from going back into
Absolutely.
that. Right? That's the whole goal. And you do that. You mentioned a few of the programs that you talk about: the housing, the therapy, the employment. I mean, you have so many ways.
Correct. We have 5 sober houses, all within 0.5 miles of our main building. And so it's all walkable because transportation is a barrier. And our therapy practice is right across the street. Literally everything is walkable. So you have your employment coach right there in the building that you can walk to if you get in our sober housing. And if you're not in our sober housing, all of our programming is free. So it's accessible and open to the public. In our closed groups, we just don't publicize them. So you don't even know that they're going on. Like we have an IOP, which is an intensive outpatient. That's a closed class. So it's just not, you don't see it on our schedule.
Sure.
But if you see it on our schedule, on our website, it's open and you're welcome to join.
Absolutely. And this is a lot about addiction. This is a lot
Correct.
about substance abuse and things like that. So let's talk about that. That's obviously in line with a sober comedy show that you're
Correct.
hosting. What a great fundraiser.
Yeah, so we believe that you can have fun even when you're on your recovery journey, when you're sustaining lifelong sobriety, and we want you to have fun. And laughing together is a great way to build community and have fun, but there aren't a lot of comedy clubs that encourage sobriety.
No, as a matter of fact, there's a lot of times they encourage a 2-drink minimum.
I was just gonna say,
Right.
a lot that I go to say you have to have a 2-drink minimum.
Right.
So we have things like mocktails and laughter and just grown-ups having fun together and laughing and showing that you can have a completely sober evening that has the same end result.
Absolutely.
As going to a comedy club.
Yeah, on my social media feed, the Dry Comedy Bar is always coming through with a lot great acts coming through, just as funny, and the crowd seems like they're having just as much fun. And Jaron Myers, I watched some of his stuff, and I'm anxious. I want to hear more.
Yeah, so Jaron's hilarious. All 3 of the comics that we've ever brought in have had dry bar specials. One was a Michigander, Andy Beningo. He and I went to high school together.
Oh, did you really?
He was a good way to test the waters if this would work. Last year, Jeremy Alder, and this year, Jaron Myers. And as we were picking them, I had multiple board members send me his clip and be like, what about this guy? I'm like, I'm already talking to him.
Right.
Like, he's hilarious. He has clean comedy, but he's actually funny. Because sometimes we say clean comedy.
Yeah. And you're like, is it though?
Yeah,
is it comedy though?
Exactly.
Hey, for me, I was one of those kids who was a big Seinfeld fan growing up, and I respected him so much because it is much harder to get those laughs when you're not dropping the curse words and we're not working blue, as they call it in the industry, right? So it's a lot harder you truly have to be funny because they're not liquored up. You know, a lot of people say the more you drink, the funnier I get. Well, no, you got to be funny. Okay, you just got to be funny from the front. And not only is he doing the show for you guys, he's going into the correctional facility to do a show for the inmates. Talk about that.
Correct. So one of the things we love at Fresh Coast is inreach to our facilities, to the prisons here in Michigan. And we have a special relationship with the Muskegon Correctional Facility. We go in every month and do a Speaker of the Month. We've brought in musicians, we bring in pastors, we bring in speakers. But this month, in the month of March, we're going to bring in Jaron. Part of his contract with us is that he would do a show inside.
Right.
And How fun is that? One of my staff members, her husband's like, we should call it Inside Jokes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, a missed opportunity.
Brilliant there, yeah.
But yeah, he'll do a show inside, and then he'll do the show for our fundraiser that evening.
And of course, the purpose of this is to raise money to support the programs that you do right there in West Michigan to help people from returning to prison after they've gotten out because, well...
Returning from prison, not to.
Returning, yeah, don't want you to return to prison from getting out. How's
Correct.
that? Yeah, I think
we want to reduce recidivism.
Thank you, that's the word. I was like, it's something. Recidivism is the word.
Recidivism.
Right, that's the word we're looking for. And last year, you guys, I mean, you sold out. This year, I'm assuming you went to a bigger venue this year.
Correct. The first year, we sold 400 tickets. Last year, we sold 515, selling out our venue. So we were moving to the Frauenthal, and we're very excited about what that will, it's significantly more tickets, which you can get by going to our website, freshcoastalliance.org, and clicking on the banner, or go to the Frauenthal's website and click on their events.
Just as easy. Come for the comedy, come for the cause. Come for the no chance of a drunken brawl fight, right?
Yeah.
You got yourself a good, sober comedy night fundraiser happening March 5th, as you heard at the Frauenthal Center. Candy, thank you for the time this morning.
Thank you
Appreciate
so much.
it. The ticket information right there on your screen. If you want more information about what they do, check out freshcoastalliance.org.